Hi there, I'm Andrea Koppel, and it's time for coffee, the podcast where you get to hear firsthand what the jobs and careers that interest you the most are really like. Hey there, Java junkies. Welcome to another K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. By the way, K-Cups come in 3 sizes, single, double, and triple shots, or roughly 1 minute, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes in length. So if you don't have time to throw back an entire caffeinated career conversation, these K-Cup mini episodes of T4C can give you a quick caffeinated fix, whether you're on the go or you only have a few minutes to binge. So grab your mug and take a chug, because it's time for a caffeinated career double shot K-Cup with my guest, Michael Counts. So, flashing back very quickly, you went to Skidmore College and you majored in theater and economics. And just super quickly, did you know what you were going to do with that degree, Michael, when you graduated?
You know, I did, I think. The slight backstory there is I got to college and didn't really know anything about what I wanted to do. Went through my freshman year and was lost. Took a semester off, moved to Southern California, worked, surfed, hung out, met girls, just, did that for a while. And then I had an epiphany about what I wanted and about some insights that I had about taking risks, trying things I hadn't done before. And I went back to Skidmore the second semester of my sophomore year and got serious. And I took a theater class, and very quickly, I just knew that it brought together not so much theater in a traditional sense. Like, I've never taken one of the great plays and staged it because, I wanted to do my version of Death of a Salesman. I've never done that. I'm not about drama. I'm about creating experiences. And I saw theater as a part of that. Theater was part of a toolkit, but was not the whole game. And as soon as that came together and I realized that I was a director, which was hit me like a thunderbolt, I knew exactly what I was going to do. And from then on, I just pursued it. I had 3 professors that became mentors to me, and each of them were very different. And I became a sponge, and I just learned everything I could and learned how to do everything I needed to do. And I started making shows before I had any right to do so. And I went away. When I graduated, I went away to college. I went away to Europe, came back, worked 3 jobs for 6 months, saved $10,000, went back to Saratoga, and rented a storefront and started making theater. Mm. And it's basically been it's a continuation of that trajectory to basically now.
I am thinking, as you were talking, Michael, that what happened to you when you took a break from school and went out to California and then came back, and when things started clicking. Was it because did you change your major? Did you change your focus in school?
It wasn't even I changed it. I didn't have one prior. So
you got one.
I got one. I got serious and I got curious and I went back to Skidmore and I started, pulling on the coattails of some professors and just got excited and started reading the books that they told me to read. And a few professors in particular who, I was the kid who, they'd throw out you're interested in this kid, read that. And I'd go to the library, get the book, read it overnight, go back to them in the morning and say, I read that book and here's what I thought. What else do you got? And I was that kind of energetic sponge. And then I got excited, and maybe I could have gotten excited about other things, but I think the kind of art and theater that really made sense to me was a pulling together of things that when I look back on my earlier life, had been things that I was passionate about and interested in, but I just didn't see, I hadn't connected the dots yet.
Yes.
And once I connected the dots, it all came into focus and I was off and running.
As you were painting the picture, I had an image in my mind of that plane taxiing down the runway, that it was like you went into hyperdrive. The plane didn't have its wings on it yet, but you then found your runway, and that's where you got liftoff because you were studying what really interested you, and you couldn't get enough information. You couldn't absorb it quickly enough.
Yep.
And I think that is what is missing for so many students in college because they're trying to reverse engineer their careers. I'm not saying in every instance, but they're trying to figure out, so what is it that's going to get me the job that will help me pay my bills, as opposed to saying what lights you up. Because unless it lights you up, you're just going to quit that first career or you're going to be miserable in it.
That is 100% right. And that is, it's funny. That is part of what has really been the shift for me recently, which is I now know that you have to find the thing that lights you up and you have to start with what's working. And, one of the biggest things for me in the last, like a real sort of secret weapon that I've had that has helped me for the last 20 years is working with a coach. And I started working with a coach and I benefited from it. And the questions that the coaches that I worked with asked were like, what do you really want? Like, that's the fundamental question of coaching. What do you really want? Not what do your parents want for you, or what does society want for you, or what do your professors want for you, or your brother, your sister, your girlfriend, your brother? What do you want? And then get proud of it, get excited about it, believe that you can have it. And then people go after it with everything they've got. That's what happened to me. And because of that, I feel like I had a really blessed career. And a few years ago, I took that model and I started with my coach, a business to help other people have that experience too. And we created a coaching business called A-Plan Coaching. And I'm very involved in it. I'm still doing the creative stuff that I've always done, but A-Plan Coaching is really about democratizing access to coaching for everyone, including, teens and young adults. And we have we've done several pilots with teens and young adults because I think that asking the right questions at the right moment changes everything. And I think that, and that's what we're doing.
Thanks for tuning in to this K-Cup mini episode of Time for Coffee. If you want to listen to our entire caffeinated career conversation, please check out the show notes for this episode. Thanks so much for listening to Time for Coffee, where the professionals in the jobs that most interest you always have time to grab coffee 24/7, no matter where you live. I have one quick favor to ask you. Remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Time for Coffee. Thanks so much.